Welcome to Childhood and the Enneagram, stories that shape us. I'm Susan Parker Jones, licensed therapist, Enneagram practitioner, and author of The Wholehearted Child. In this podcast, we explore how our earliest childhood experiences shape the way we see ourselves, others, and the world, and how the harmony model of the Enneagram can help us heal, grow, and guide the next generation with greater clarity and compassion. Whether you're a parent, educator, therapist, or someone simply ready to rewrite your own childhood story, you're in the right place. Each week, we'll uncover the patterns that influence our emotional world and learn how small shifts in awareness can create lasting transformation, both in our own lives and in the lives of the children we care for and love. So grab your coffee, hit subscribe, and join me, because the stories we carry don't have to define us. We have the power to heal, to grow, and to impact the next generation. Hey there, I'm Susan, and I'm so grateful you're here. In our last episode, we explored how the inner childhood narrative, or ICN, develops and how recognizing our emotional patterns can help us heal and grow. Today, we're diving even deeper, exploring attachment theory, attachment styles, and how they directly shape our inner narratives. This is a big one because our earliest attachment experiences, the way we connected or didn't connect with our caregivers, formed the blueprint for how we relate to ourselves, others, and the world around us. So let's start here. Attachment theory tells us that from the moment we're born, we are wired for connection. Babies and young children naturally seek closeness, comfort, and safety from their caregivers. When those needs are met consistently, with warmth and attunement, the child develops an internal narrative that says, I am safe, I am loved, and I can trust others. But when the caregiving environment is inconsistent, emotionally unavailable, dismissive, chaotic, or frightening, a child's attachment system adapts. Not because a child is broken, but because a child is brilliant at survival. Those early adaptations become part of the inner childhood narrative that we carry forward into adulthood. The foundation for secure attachment can be impacted very early in life, sometimes even before a child is born. I want to share with you a bit of background to all the things that contribute to a child's development. Not because you need more theory, but to understand that there are so many factors we can't always control that really do impact the trajectory of a child's life. It's important for you to understand so that you can create a safe base and maintain healthy connection, which is the glue that holds a child's mental wellness together. Most people in my field believe that a child's mindset or template from which they view the world is formed by the time they hit school age, and that the first 5 years of life are the most important. Even if a child is born to the most idyllic parents, attachment theorists have identified several early risk factors that can cast a shadow on a child's path to a healthy and secure attachment, potentially leading to difficulties in navigating stress later. Dr. Karen Purvis, creator and co-author of The Connected Child, coined these risk factors as the hard places of childhood, and they include the following: prenatal stress or trauma. When caregivers experience stress or trauma during pregnancy, it can impact the emotional environment even before a child is born. This can lay the groundwork for potential attachment struggles as a child may enter the world unsettled and anxious. Traumatic or difficult birth. This stormy entry into the world can leave kids feeling disoriented and overwhelmed. A traumatic birth experience can set the stage for emotional challenges, making it a bit harder for a child to establish a sense of secure connection with their caregivers. Early hospitalization. Separation from caregivers, especially when it involves painful medical procedures or extended stays, can create a sense of detachment and insecurity in a child that can alter their natural developmental trajectory. Neglect or loss of a caregiver. When a child doesn't receive consistent care and attention they need from their primary caregivers, it can leave a lasting impact on their attachment style. The loss of caregivers through divorce, death, or separation can lead to feelings of intense grief, abandonment, and insecurity. Experiencing abuse, whether physical, emotional, or sexual, can severely impact a child's ability to form secure attachments and can lead to disorganized and fearful responses in relationships. There are 4 main attachment styles that emerge. When we look at attachment, we know that there is either secure attachment or insecure attachment. And within the insecure attachment styles, we have anxious or preoccupied attachment, avoidant or dismissive attachment, and disorganized, which is fearful avoidant attachment. Let's break each one of them down and think about how these may have shaped your own inner story. John Bowlby was the father of attachment theory, and he would say that children who experience secure attachment grow up with a story that says, I'm worthy of love, I can trust others, and I can seek help when I need it. As adults, they tend to feel comfortable with both intimacy and independence, and they can weather relational storms without feeling overwhelmed or abandoned. Kids with anxious or preoccupied attachment style would indicate a child who's experienced inconsistent caregiving. Their inner narrative might sound like this. I have to work hard to be loved. I might be abandoned if I'm not good enough. They may struggle with the fear of rejection. They may seek constant reassurance and feel heightened anxiety inside relationships. Kids whose caregivers were emotionally unavailable, dismissive, or who discourage dependency may develop an avoidant attachment style. And their ICN often sounds like, I can only rely on myself. Needing others is dangerous or disappointing. As adults, they may appear very independent, but often have difficulty opening up emotionally or trusting others with their vulnerability. When caregiving is both a source of comfort and fear, such as in situations involving trauma, abuse, or extreme inconsistency, a disorganized attachment can develop. These individuals carry an internal story that says, I want connection, but connection feels unsafe. They may oscillate between craving closeness and pushing people away, struggling to feel secure in relationships. Attachment styles form the foundation of our inner childhood narratives. If attachment is the first draft of our story, our experiences, interpretations, and coping strategies fill in the chapters as we grow. Without awareness, we tend to repeat these attachment-driven patterns even when they no longer serve us. So, how can we begin to recognize our attachment-based patterns? Here are 3 reflection questions to consider. 1. How do I respond to emotional closeness? Do I welcome it, fear it, distrust it? 2. What story plays in my head when conflict or distance happens in a relationship? Do I fear abandonment? Do I feel numb? Do I blame myself? And 3. How do I cope when I feel vulnerable or exposed? Do I seek reassurance? Do I withdraw, distract, or push through? Here's where the Enneagram can be an incredible companion in this healing work. Each Enneagram type highlights patterns of defenses that developed in response to early attachment experiences. It's why I love it so much as an attachment therapist. For example, a type 6 may have an anxious attachment style consistently seeking security and reassurance. A type 5 may lean toward avoidant tendencies, retreating inward and withholding emotional needs. And a type 2 may unconsciously tie their worth to being needed and loved. Understanding both your Enneagram type and your attachment style gives you 2 powerful lenses to heal, helping you rewrite your inner childhood narrative with more compassion, trust, and resilience. We can become earned secure when armed with this knowledge. Let's end today with a simple but powerful reflection. Think back to your childhood. Who did you go to for comfort when you were upset? And what messages did you receive, either spoken or unspoken, about your worth, your needs, and your emotions? As you reflect, remember this is not about judgment. It's about gathering clues to understand yourself with more self-compassion and kindness. Healing begins not with fixing, but with seeing with tenderness and truth. I hope today's episode gave you some deeper insight into how your attachment style and ICN are connected, and how awareness can help you move towards greater security and connection. Thanks for joining me today on Childhood and the Enneagram. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with someone who might need a little encouragement. To dive deeper into healing childhood stories through connection and the Enneagram, be sure to check out my book, The Wholehearted Child, and visit thewholeheartedchild.com. Until next time, remember, the stories we carry don't define us. We have the power to heal, to grow, and to impact the next generation.